Hi, welcome back to the channel. If you are new to our audience or a regular viewer, it's good to have you here. With that being said, let's jump straight into today's video with no time wasting. Today we are diving into Apple's latest AI fail. Apple, the trillion-dollar titan that redefined the smartphone, reshaped the PC industry, and reinvented how we listen to music. For years, Apple has led from the front. Polished products, unrivaled design, seamless user experience. But when it comes to artificial intelligence, things haven't gone quite as smoothly. At WWDC 2024, all eyes were on Apple to finally show the world how it would compete in the AI arms race. After months of hype and speculation, fans, analysts, and the broader tech world expected a game-changing announcement. But what they got instead left many scratching their heads. And here's the kicker. This isn't just a case of Apple being late to the party. The way Apple handled AI might reveal something deeper, a fundamental shift in its strategy, its risk appetite, and even its future relevance. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why Apple's AI stumble could be a defining moment, not just for the company, but for the future of personal tech. Let's rewind to the start of 2024. Google had just ramped up Gemini, Microsoft was embedding Copilot into everything from Windows to Excel, and OpenAI was becoming a household name. AI wasn't just a feature, it was becoming the new operating system, the intelligence layer behind everything. Meanwhile, Apple remained eerily silent. No AI keynote, no flashy demos, not even a public roadmap. Fans reassured themselves with a familiar narrative. Apple doesn't rush, it perfects, and when it finally speaks, it delivers something everyone else wishes they thought of first. So when Apple finally took the stage at WWDC, expectations were sky high. This was going to be the Siri reinvention, the LLM-powered leap, the moment Apple reclaimed its innovation crown. But that moment never came. Instead, Apple introduced something called Apple Intelligence. A clever name, sure, but what it represented was far less groundbreaking than what competitors had already rolled out. Apple Intelligence wasn't a new foundation model built in-house. It wasn't a revolutionary new AI assistant. It was a framework that leaned heavily on third-party AI, most notably OpenAI's ChatGPT. Yes, you heard that right. After years of downplaying generative AI hype, Apple chose to integrate ChatGPT directly into iOS, iPadOS, and macOS. And it wasn't just baked into the system. It was branded, explicitly labeled, and critically, opt-in. That's not exactly the bold, integrated future people were expecting. It was more like borrowing someone else's homework and turning it in late. The newly updated Siri? Still limited. It could now handle some generative responses and make minor context-aware suggestions, but it wasn't close to the kind of proactive, dynamic assistant that Google and OpenAI are already rolling out. And the AI features Apple did introduce, like notification summarization, rewriting messages, or creating images, were tied to the newest devices only. That means unless you have an iPhone 15 Pro or an M-series Mac, you're completely left out. So here's the question. Why did Apple, known for controlling the full stack, hand over its AI core to someone else? Why didn't they build their own foundational model? Why such a timid rollout? The answer lies in Apple's obsession with privacy. Apple has spent the last decade carving out a reputation as the tech company that respects your data. And to its credit, that stance has real value in today's surveillance-heavy digital world. Apple wanted to avoid sending user data to massive, always-on AI models in the cloud, so it built what it calls private cloud compute, a system where data is processed locally when possible and only offloaded to the cloud under strict conditions. This approach makes sense ethically and strategically, but it comes at a cost. Apple limited its own ability to leverage the full power of cloud-based large language models, and without building its own model from scratch, it had no choice but to partner with OpenAI. That partnership also brings up serious strategic questions. If the future of computing is defined by intelligence and Apple doesn't own that layer, is it ceding its leadership role? Think about it. Apple's entire success has been built on controlling the hardware, software, and services stack. From the chip in your phone to the app you download, Apple is the gatekeeper. But in this AI future, If you ask your phone a question and it's OpenAI, not Apple, giving you the answer, who's really in control? It's a strange and unfamiliar position for Apple to be in, reliant on someone else's innovation, someone else's roadmap, someone else's data model. And the reaction has been lukewarm at best. The Verge described Apple's AI rollout as cautious and playing catch-up. Tech analysts noted the lack of breakthrough features. And longtime fans were forced to admit that, for once, Apple didn't feel like the leader. It felt like a fast follower. To be fair, Apple did what Apple always does. It prioritized user experience, safety, and ecosystem stability. But in a moment like this, when the tech landscape is shifting fast, that might not be enough. Meanwhile, competitors are moving quickly. Microsoft is turning every app in the Office suite into an AI-powered assistant. Google is baking Gemini into every layer of Android and search. Even Meta is experimenting with AI companions and open-source models. And here's the scary part. These companies are gathering user data, feedback, and engagement at scale. They're iterating in real time, improving their models, expanding their reach. Every moment Apple delays, it's falling further behind in this new AI economy. Now, to be clear, this isn't the end of the road. Apple has a history of entering markets late and still dominating them. Remember the iPhone, the Apple Watch, even the AirPods. But in those cases, it brought something truly different to the table. A reimagined user interface, a redefined product category, a level of polish no one else could match. With AI, so far, it hasn't done that. There's still time. Behind the scenes, Apple is rumored to be working on its own large language model with multiple acquisitions and research teams dedicated to building a proprietary AI future. And when it finally does launch its own model, Apple will have the distribution power to reach over 1 billion devices almost overnight. But time is running out. The AI race is no longer about who can ship the most polished product. It's about who can learn the fastest, ship the most updates, and build the smartest intelligence layer. If Apple doesn't speed up, it risks becoming the hardware shell around someone else's brain. And that's the real fail here. Not a bad product, not a poor keynote, but a potential loss of leadership in the next great computing platform. So what do you think? Is Apple being cautious for the right reasons, or has it already lost the AI war before it truly began? If you found this breakdown insightful, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. We've got more deep dives on AI, tech industry shifts, and the companies shaping our digital future coming your way. You won't want to miss what's next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.